Here's some history that I learned about, just to give you an idea how they operate, how tech operators operate, right? Because I just all of a sudden this little video popped up. It says, "Hey, you want to look at the history of the war that began right in Poland? Remember Poland? Okay, remember what happened with who's the guy who was the prime minister of England, who came back from Munich and said there will be peace in Europe and all that with Adolf Hitler and that gang, right? And then you had the war that began in Poland, which gave rise to the term called Blitz. Like, where do you see Blitz and then Krieg, right? Blitzkrieg, right? Okay. Well, this is what they did, and this is how they stage events, which is an event on a event horizon that gets publicized in newspapers and publications and newsreels that they had back then, right? To, in your mind, convince you that, whoa, well, I guess that's the truth then, that would give us reason to fight, like Frank Capra's series that came out of Hollywood called Why We Fight. Kappa, Ka, Kappa, like in potassium, PPA. So they play word games, which are editor games, which are ed, numbers editor, numbers are energy, complex number space, negative, positive, spinning magnets between two polarities, right? Negative electricity, positive electricity. So what they had done is that there was what was known as an outpost. How about an inpost? An outpost, which was basically a border crossing guard station, right, between what would be Poland, right, and Germany. And so what they did is they staged an event where they swapped uniforms. They'd gone in there and killed the Polish guards, okay, and then pretended to act as if it was the Polish that did the killing, when in fact it was the Nazis that did the killing. So they inverted what was really happening, which was the truth, to get you to believe that it was them that had the reason to attack Poland. Right? That's when you get up into Danzig. Remember the Danzig corridor? So this is how they invert your mind in order to get you to go to war against your own mirror. Is they flip it from inside out, outside in. Okay? So this is one of the reasons why when you choose to don a uniform and join the military, because they've convinced everyone, hey, we got a villain here, we got a bad guy here, to convince you that you're the bad guy, because now you're going to go against war against your own self, which is your own soul and your own mirror. Because you believe these Nazis, these demons, or if you will, tech. That's right, the tech. The tech that they use against consciousness to get you to believe that the world that you're living in is real, when it's not. Okay, so what are you going to do with something that's fake, which means it's not living light with a spirit and a soul? Burn it off. That's what we do with it. We burn it off because it's not real. They're dead. So they use technology in order to maintain what they're aware of through their technology, to extend themselves, because they refuse to take responsibility and accountability for what they do to souls. So you know that the universe of consciousness has to account for itself, because it doesn't want to keep racking up energy debt after energy debt, which means it keeps losing more of what it's aware of, which is what love is, as a result of who they are, which isn't who we are. Born of fire means that the lake of fire is naturally the way in which we get rid of those that are using our energy in order for us to experience what war is, instead of experiencing what love is. Love is the law of one. End of story. That's known as the archaic revival and the rebirth of goddess energy, which means living in a state of peace through a mother's wisdom, which is her birth canal that gave birth to creation. Through the mother, join with the Father in the living spirit of aloha. That's the flower crown. Have a great day. I love you all. Be good to yourselves.